Hi, I'm Lindsay and I'm burned out. Everything's still recording, okay. Every now and then we all encounter something that we know we absolutely have to do, but we absolutely also do not want to do it. A thing that you just look at and go, no, no. And y'all, I have to rearrange the furniture in my apartment. It's gotta happen. It's just gotta get done. And at the end of the month, I'm gonna be helping somebody else with their apartment. So I could use this practice run and just remember that this is the feeling that I'm trying to help people with. So let's help me. So if I were a client, what would I tell me to do? First thing we gotta do is look at all of it. We gotta look at the whole situation and not scream about how complicated and overwhelming that it sounds. Just look at it, take a breath, and just in a very relaxed, we don't have to do any work yet manner, let's just look at my apartment and see what I need from it that it's not currently giving me. This, my bathroom counter. And first of all, isn't it the most autistic thing that you've ever seen that instead of taking my phone and recording and walking around the apartment, I took pictures of my apartment in advance so I could sit here and scroll through them and talk to you about them? Yeah, this was a lot less work for my brain. And I'm the first person in the world to admit, if it's not on the counter, I don't remember I have it. Generally, the hidden spaces in my apartment are for overflow of things that are out exposed elsewhere. But I bet a lot of the stuff on this countertop is stale. And when I say stale, what I'm talking about is when you have ADHD and things need to be exciting or novel and interesting to get your attention, things that you see every day tend to sort of fade into the background. So I bet like 75% of that stuff I could just throw away. This is my TV room. This is the room in my apartment that needs the least work. But I need to decide what I'm doing with those BOA posters. They've been sitting there forever. I'm sick of looking at them. And also, every time I look at them, there's a little voice in my head that goes, oh my god, I still can't believe you can't do something as simple as deal with these BOA posters. I don't need that stimulus. So this is my charging station. Anything that I have that's an electronic device, I just have one place where I know all the wires are. I can just run and plug it in, don't have to think about it. It's not cute, but it is damn helpful. A friend of mine recently came over and was like, your tower of power? And I was like, how did I not think of that? The Heaven's Night sign was a gift. Heaven's Night is the name of a strip club in the video game Silent Hill 2. I also have my Heaven's Night beanie on right now. I decided to put that sign in the TV room instead of the bedroom because I'm not a giant cheese ball. And yes, these are all my electronic devices, so if you think you saw something, then you probably did. Moving on. So looking at this room as a whole, as we can see, Peg is adorable, even though she is making a lot of noise over there right now. I do have thoughts about this room, but it's probably the lowest priority, so let's move on. It's funny, I once saw a Struthless video where he was talking about how, the clothes only belong in two places. It's clean clothes or dirty clothes. There's no between zone. I disagree. I think there is a between zone, and this table is my between zone. When I get out of the shower, I want clothes that are 100% clean, but also, if clothes aren't completely dirty, it's wasteful to wash them again, so unwashed Lindsay wears unwashed clothes. The point is, when we make these home systems, we need to take into consideration the way we realistically live our lives. And I realistically live my life in such a fashion, it is my lifestyle, that there is a between zone. That said, does between zone need this kind of real estate? My bedroom is just, I'm not pleased with it, friends. Gotta love how Peg finds her way to the very center. Welcome to Pugs, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, what's everything that's wrong with this picture? First of all, I respect my need for a between zone, but this is not the way to do it. My bedside table situation is, what even can be said about it? This ramp, okay, a very, very kind friend made this ramp for my dog Potato, who is disabled. But at this point, he's too disabled to use this ramp, so it's just sitting here, but somebody made it, and it's so nice. In theory, it could be used as a ramp for Peg to climb up on my bed, but honestly, we don't have that kind of trust between us yet. So if I might want to use it later, but I don't want to use it now, where the frick do I put it? This is Squidge's refrigerator, but they don't need it, and I don't need it right now, but it's cool, it's a refrigerator. There have been times on burnout days where I really don't want to leave my room that I might want to put some drinks in there so I don't have to walk all the way to the kitchen, but that's few and far between. And this freaking huge air conditioner is a problem. I don't need it anymore. The weather's cooling off. Gotta put it somewhere. Space heater thing is kind of a weird situation. Below priority. Piece of my multi-piece mirror thing over here fell off. Big shocker, another peg photobomb. So yeah, this thing of mirrors was put up by a guy that I hired to come over and do it, and he has not responded to my text, so I do not trust my own ability to put those things up myself. So the one corner thing fell off, and I haven't put it back up because I'm not even sure if I want this thing to stay here or not. All I know is I need mirrors that size so I can see my whole outfit. That's my way of doing that, my only way. So we need a solution for the mirrors. Where do we put the wall adhesive mirrors? I kind of like my jacket hooks, but it does get a little unruly. So all I wear are t-shirts, and I hate when t-shirts get like old and kind of nasty looking. So I tend to procrastinate putting them in the dryer. Like only if I must put them in the dryer do they go in the dryer. If they don't need to go in the dryer, then I put them on this little rack thing and I just let them dry in my bathroom. If there's any reason why that's a bad idea that I don't know, let me know. But putting them outside, they're gonna get stolen. Not wild about the towel situation, but low priority. And here's a wider view of my bathroom. As you can tell, I'm very utilitarian. I'm like, I just need my bathroom stuff. But the walls are blank, so why not Espa wall scroll that I saw at a convention? It was between Espa or Dreamcatcher. Bigger fan of Dreamcatcher, liked the Espa wall scroll better. And this, my honorable guests, is my living room that I'm sitting in right now. That is the very chair that I'm sitting in right now. Yes, Vault Boy is right above my lumbar pillow at all times. This place, oh, if you could have seen what it once was in its glory days a year ago. Y'all, there is a reason that I'm confident in my chosen profession, because my apartment was once a well-oiled machine. To this day, I can take pride in the fact that, unlike most of my friends, I know where all my stuff is. I know where my stuff is. Do you hear me? I have autism and ADHD, and I know where my stuff is. If somebody's over here for whatever reason, and they're like, do you have scissors? I'm like, do I have scissors? I have them in 4 different places. Which pair would you like? Seriously. If you want to put a smile on my face, if you're in my apartment, just ask like for a random household object and watch the smile on my face as I gleefully go and skip and sparkle away to find that object for you within half a second. This also applies to digital objects. Like, people are always shocked, like, oh, remember in 7th grade we took that picture? You mean this picture? It's not because I'm really good at that. It's because I'm really bad at it, because it took so much work and I hate losing my stuff so much. It is a huge personal triumph for me that I can put stuff places, remember where those places are, and find my things. The amount of efficiency that has brought my life, the amount of satisfaction that I haven't rebought things, like it's a huge, like, and that's one of the reasons why, like, my apartment being in the state that it is just not okay, because I need things to be smooth. I need my life to feel smooth. The way this originally worked, when it did work, the dogs would pretty much hang out the same area they're hanging out now. You can see their crates in the middle of the room, but I could give them a lot more freedom and leeway. But in recent times, Peg has been a lot more annoying to Potato, and Potato can't walk, so it just makes him miserable if he has to deal with her. So we tend to play musical chairs with one of them's in a crate, one of them's out, both of them are in the crates, etc., to try to kind of figure out how we can live together peacefully. So this positioning ended up working well for me because of how close together a lot of things are. You can see Potato's bed is under the table back here, and then the crates are right across. So when I move Potato from his crate to his bed, it's like 2 feet, as opposed to when the crates were in my room under the laundry zone table. That was a whole lot more of an ordeal. So that was just literally done as a desperate spoon saver for me. Just be like, the dogs are in the living room now. We're mostly in there until we go to sleep anyway. Let's just make the musical chair circle much smaller. But in that little corner, oh my god, like, we're tripping over each other. Ooh, we're getting very up close and personal now. I mean, look at the picture and look at me. Look at the picture, now back to me. Look at the picture, now back to me. Yes, you now see all of the secrets behind this shot. So yeah, that's another thing. Whatever we do, this area behind me has to stay clear just like it is right now. Because I got a thing going on. It's pretty cool. I don't think I got a special shot of it, but as you can see behind the chair there, there's a cardboard box that has my new desk in it. So at some point in this process, I have to get rid of these tables that currently have my stuff on it, which were for free, like curbside. I think I'm ready for a big boy desk, don't you? This is where Potato hangs out when he's not in his crate. And this is such a mess, I can't even stand looking at it. It's right over there, and I can't stand looking at it. Ah, it's there too. Ah, and it's there, and ah, it's everywhere. Y'all, here was the plan. There was a plan, and it was a beautiful plan. That was an intentional doom shelf. Just like the tower power of tower power, just like the power tower, I knew and accepted from the jump that that shelf was gonna be ugly. But I never intended for that ugly to extend to the next table, to the other table. It was not supposed to be a doom shelf and 2 doom tables. That was not the plan. It's gotten out of control. I need to examine how I'm letting this happen. Dog-related stuff is in its dog-related tray on the dog thing on the left side. That's cool. We can leave that like that. And the marker board is kind of like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know? Like, not the star of the show, but always plays its part, you know? Like, my brain can't even process, like, the junk that I'm looking at. This is the weird thing about clutter. And this is why I mentioned in my other video about why coaches hire other coaches. Because all of these items have an emotional charge for me that they wouldn't for a coach, so that they would be able to look at this stuff more objectively and be like, okay, why is this picture on the table, you know? But I see why every item I'm looking at is there, and it becomes this jumble. It's always important to keep in mind that anything that is going on in your sphere of influence that you don't like is a reflection of something in you that you're not dealing with. And the reasons that we don't deal with stuff are generally emotional. Right now, all I'm looking at this is like, I just need a prettier, more intended way to have like 3 giant shelves of junk. Because right now, frankly, that's all my brain can do. And sometimes that's all our brains can do. And that's just peg. I have to hurry up and finish this video. So this is the area where I work. As you can see, my closets are freaking awesome. So clean, so tidy. So it looks like what I need to be doing the most is optimize this space more for my shooting and the dogs, and take all of this clutter and nonsense and use this super empty bedroom space. I need to optimize this as a storage space because yes, I sleep in here and I don't want to be looking at junk, but the truth is I spend the most time in the living room. So at least we've like cleaned up a vision, right? Priority 1. What does my desk working space need? I have that new desk I've got to build, and all of my money, everything that makes the rest of my life possible, starts there. So first, plan where to put the desk. Secondly, what do the dogs need? With Potato's inability to walk and Peg's tendency to be insane, I need to lay that all out and be like, how do I make the dog and working desk relationship work as best as possible? Next, I have to do like an archaeological like expedition or something of the junk that's over there. Why? Why is it there? How is my life making it go there? What need am I trying to meet by dumping everything there? That's not something I can figure out in a nice way for this video right now. Regardless, it seems to be anything that's not dog related or working related doesn't need to be in this room. Storage and crap should go in my room. I think there was a time that I thought that like my bedroom was gonna have like an ambiance and that this was gonna be like the utilitarian space, but that was a year ago. Apparently it's not happening. The whole apartment is a utilitarian space. Apparently I'm living with the person I am, not the person I thought I would be. So we're gonna work with that. So we're gonna take all of the junk and storage, anything storagey that's not pretty out here. We're gonna move it into my room, and then we're gonna position my bed in such a way that it won't annoy me. And the dogs are apparently sleeping out here. I wouldn't have seen that coming, but apparently that's what we're doing. Cool. I feel like I figured out what I want to do next, and I'm very relieved because I literally have to feed the dogs right now. Right now. So, like and subscribe. End transmission.